Oh, there we go. Yeah, I forgot something. Mic was muted. All right, it's Therax. Therax is here. Therax is doing something. Oh, that's the one. Did forget something. There we go. Reactive thing wouldn't be doing the light up bouncy thing because I hadn't done the thing. All right, we have a match here. It's Battle for Midway. This is actually the second match of the league. Mokar is currently casting the first match that was played. Started an hour before this one. Unfortunately, he took that match before I could grab it, but you know, we're all good. I get to cast Bears Brawlers and an FJRD team. It is the Jägers. Um, yeah, Jägers. Okay, cool. So we have a Division F match here, and things are kind of readying up, locking up. Not quite there yet. So what's going on? Let's talk about it a little bit. I didn't really fully read the rulebook. I just kind of quickly skimmed it. So this is a 7v7 5-cap Conquest League. There are going to be 5 drops, but there's some complexity on a little bit of that. The tonnage is going up over the drops. The first couple drops are 320. Then it goes to, oh, where's my rulebook? Is it 450? I think it's 450, but I don't want to get that wrong. Okay, so it's a tonnage range, 300 to 320, so they can go down a little bit, but not very much. For the first 2 drops, they're playing the same map, which is going to be Alpine Peaks this week, just switching team sides for drop 1, drop 2. So if there's team side advantage on the maps, both teams get a full crack at that. For drop 3 and drop 4, they're going to be playing Frozen City. Again, playing team side 1, then team side 2. The tonnage range on that is 430 to 450. It is a significant bump up. Again, very tight tonnage range. You can't undercut your opponents on that. For drop 5, the tonnage is going to be 490 to 510. The map is something that the 2 teams get to ban a map each, and then they play the other one or something of that nature. I don't know if they do that live on stream or if they do that before the stream. I'm not sure. They'll tell me what map it is. It has a possibility of being Rubelite Oasis, Tourmaline Desert, or Polar Highlands for week 1 matchup. And my teams are locked, so let's go. So yeah, it's 7v7. Both clan and inner sphere mechs are being allowed for this. So the Hunters of the Fjordlands Jägers team is from Europe, and Bears Brawlers are from Oceanic or Asia Pacific, however you want to put that out. So they're actually going to be playing on the North American server for all 5 drops. Otherwise, in this league, I'd have to be doing their servers every other drop, which would be a big pain, and I would forget it, and then we'd be on the wrong server. But Alpine Peaks, it's a map that doesn't show up in quick play very often for reasons. Not very popular in quick play. A lot of people don't like it in competitive either. I personally do enjoy this map. So we'll see what these teams do. It's probably going to be long range. I mean, they are playing with a fairly low tonnage. Dividing 320 by 7 mechs, you're ending up with, what is it, like 60? Yeah, 60, not even 60 tons of mech. Not even 50 tons of mech. Wow, you're like at 45 tons of mech. Quick math there. I don't know. Somebody check it and tell me I'm wrong. I'm gonna look at Bears Brawlers here. Now, do I have the team up correctly? Yes, I do. Okay, good news. I do remember what I'm doing. So, we have a Huntsman with ERPPCs. It's gonna be Pop Tarting. Got some small pulse backup on there. A little bit surprised it's not ER Micro, but this map runs cold, so why not? Hit Fox with AP Goss medium pulse. So that is not a range mech. I was expecting ER large on a Kit Fox. The Incubus is heavy large light machine gun, also a little bit more close range than this map potentially could be. Arrows Brawl, heavy machine gun and medium X-Pulse, not the new weapon system, the AP Goss, or Magshot as the industry calls it. Black Lantern with ER Meads and a Streak 6, single Streak 6. What is going on here? Kitchen Sink Black Lantern, more traditional. It is using a pair of light machine guns and a pair of AP Goss and another kitchen sink Black Lantern, not using the new weapons. So new weapons came out a couple weeks ago. I actually literally have not dropped any matches since then. Arctic Cheetah with ER large on Hunters of the Fjordlands. Shadowcat ER large heavy machine gun, heavy small laser. What is that doing there? Okay. So not seeing the new weapons here. Rifleman 2C, 5 ER large. That's going to be moderately toasty after double heat sinks got nerfed a while ago. Second Arctic Cheetah was a single ER large. Hunchback 2CA, ER large. And then up in the, I don't know, what do we call this? Crow's Nest? A saddle? I don't know what you call it. Nova Cat with 4 ER large. Not the Prime with 5. It's the A with the jump jets and 4 ER large. It does have quirks for that, range and otherwise. Interesting move here. We have one mech going for a long range scout Incubus with Proto AC2. ER Mead light machine gun. All right, here's a push. Brawlers are trying to. Well, it's not the Bears Brawlers, but the Brawl team here, which is actually it is Bears Brawlers. What am I saying? Bears Brawlers. They grabbing Theta and they're grabbing Sigma. They're both going for both simultaneously. They yeah, Hunters of the Fjordlands. Jägers team did not set up to deny Theta, so they did go for the Gamma Cap, which is a little bit. It's a bit of a risk. They sent a mech out there early, got it, and got out. Photo AC2. What is on here? I'm very confused by these builds. I haven't played with the new weapons. I don't know. Is this a thing? I feel like it's not a thing, but we do have one Proto AC2 as the only new weapon I believe that the Jägers were fielding. I don't know. I probably pronounced it. Here's you know what? We got comp. They're going slow. They're taking up their range positions. The Brawl team is going for Kappa right now. Kappa's in the open. That should be an easy deny, but the deny is not coming in here from Hunterland's team. A little bit surprised they didn't get the deny on the Kappa cap. Somebody looking there and tickling with their large. Maybe they were out of range. I mean, this is quite far back. It's further back than what I'm used to. Usually, play more over on this hill. This hill gives an excellent view of Theta, but probably too far from Kappa Cap to get the deny. But there's excellent position that should have had a deny there. Bears Brawlers making another rotation here. They need to keep in cover because they don't really have range to trade back. So if they can't force action with caps, they will have to eventually make a push or just whittle away and die. They have managed to secure a 3 cap to 2 cap situation here, and they didn't even have to go to Gamma to get that. Kappa is now being an attempt at flipping, and this is the power of the EL large being able to deny it, but one team got brawled and harder to deny. This cap is wide out in the open, very little cover. Got the D cap, did not get the cap, trying to get out with that Arctic Cheetah. Lost an arm, not important, nothing was in there. I don't think you've been in that arm. And the Black Lanterns are looking to give chase. Yikes! You go in the open here, it's kind of a shooting gallery. That Black Lantern, both legs are already open on Slacker. They did lose that cap, so kind of important somebody goes to try and take it. I don't think it should be Slacker. I don't think it should be this Incubus either from Celifist. Here we go. Slacker's going for the cap. And let's see what happens. There's a strike. Probably didn't even see it. It's behind them. They are open orange legs. They can't go one more run for that because ER large is going to take legs off, even at the reduced damage range that I'm sure most of these ER larges are operating at. Huntsman with a 2-pair of ERPPC not going to win trades for very long just because nobody else on the team is actually going to be trading. Yeah, okay, Black Lantern, one Lantern's pinned. Oh no, Celifist went for the cap, got leg. They're going to die. Maybe they can get. Nah, they're still in the open. They're just continually eating ER large here. Nobody's got good aim at this range. Like, okay, maybe Div A players. Where even I won't be hitting the right component. Here's a big strike. Yep. There we go. Cap denied. Still 2 cap to 2 cap. It's 340 to 303. We've got a movement here. Incubus. Does he know about the Black Lantern? He should know about the Black Lantern. I was wondering if he's going to dive, but not going for the dive. Slacker's still pinned. Can't do anything, but maybe they can sneak a cap with no looking. Maybe. Oh, we got some cap trouble over here. A little bit of a skirmish going to go on around Sigma. Black Lantern from Adrian. Adrian. It's an Aiden Pride, but it's not Aiden Pride. You know what I mean? Um, Blackliner open leg, guarding the cap, just preventing anyone from going for it. But yeah, okay, Blackliner went in for the cap, did not get it, died. Mr. Bear going in for the cap. This is the thing, they brought Brawl, and they can't get in Brawl. And now they're desperately trying to get their 3 cap to try and force a situation, but they're bleeding out mechs, they're bleeding out legs. They're losing armor on their other stuff. Mr. Bear is legged. Probably, I mean, Blackliner's pretty fat. Maybe he won't be able to hide behind here. He's doing his best, but he keeps getting tickled underneath a single chain fire ER large, and now a strike. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Cap, so very, very hard to get if the other team is set up with range. You can't get that cap unless if they're not looking, if they're distracted. But we have a cap attempt going on. Looks like yep, Black Lantern went down. Don't know what happened there. Looks like double legged, and Plus is grabbing the cap, and a fresh Arctic Cheetah brought ER large. This is Alpine Peaks in competitive. When players know the map and they can build a strat around it as a group and choose their builds based off of that, it turns it into an ER large fest. We do have a little bit of a brawl dropping in here, kind of clean up, but these mechs are very wounded. Adam Core could very well get legged or killed here. Looks like the Huntsman is the primary target, 46%, loses a leg. Should be going down shortly, but might be able to return the favor. Battlecat is still going. And now it's a Kit Fox just getting ganked here by a massive number of enemies. Last one up. And they pick up a kill. I mean, Shadowcat would be my target here, but looks like they're going after the Arctic Cheetah instead. And do not pick up the kill. So if you're going to go brawl on this map, you have to know your approach path. You have to find a way to get in there that the other team without you. And it's easy to scout on this map if you put a couple of lights up on the ridge line or another elevated position. So end of the day, this is going to be a win for FJRD's match ID. Later, check to make sure my stream's actually up. I can get the stats tool. Stats tools. Yeah. Pop that up on the screen. All right, there we go. All right, so looking at numbers here, actually Puzzle Whip put out 500 damage. Might have been some strikes in there. I know they had the ERPPCs, so, and they also got a chance to do a little bit of brawling with the small pulse lasers. But other than that, we can kind of just see what happened here. You can't have three of your max double D, or sorry, 4 of the max. I mean, there's 3 single-digit damage numbers and then 1 double-digit damage number. That's just Blackjack Arrow just doesn't have a lot of speed. I'm very surprised that they didn't go with large X Pulse, light machine gun instead of the medium X Pulse and heavy machine gun, or maybe some mag shots, but that'd be getting to that range. And the Black Lanterns just didn't find a way to do anything other than try to get caps and die. They wanted to get in and brawl and they couldn't. On the opposing side, surprised Novacat doesn't have more damage. Maybe they didn't have the angle. I know they were quite far back, but it's got range course. Rifleman, they're back, but there's like a 10 or 15 course on there. Been able to get some scratch damage, I would think, but yeah, one team brought a strat that didn't work. That's all I've got to say on it. Should I pop up the map room? I mean, teams might have a couple minutes here, I'm thinking. think. I don't know. They're switching team sides, so they've saved mechs for that, or maybe did not. But if you're going to try to brawl here, what I'm saying is that I've seen this work different divisions. Teams get so focused. Team one, setting up a good receive out here, and controlling the three caps, and then maybe they can get a cap eye if they move a mech with ER larges, Bravo spawn the open or from Charlie spawn forward. You've got a long shooting gallery here. You get just enough ranged equal damage. You get a kappa deny before the other team has a chance to get to the cap. Takes a little bit of commitment to do that, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. Pretty sure, pretty confident. And then you can just kind of set up. You grab your Epsilon cap for free. There's a little bit of cover on that. That one's not as easy to deny because you can't just jump up on the ridge and a little bit of cover. Epsilon cap's a safe cap to take. Theta can be contested and denied by a range high ground position. Other teams like Theta's really difficult to get on this, and then Sigma as well can be difficult to grab. You can either loop in, but there's probably going to be somebody able to see, or you rush for it. And I think if you rush for it, you have a little bit of an edge to get there. The range sight line is just right there, but you can end up having a light skirmish on Sigma that denies that. So really, Epsilon's the only easy cap to grab here. And then Gamma's so far off. If you send a mech out, there's like around, but FJRD, Hunters, Jägers, they sent a mech, grabbed Gamma, and then came back hill. So Bears Brawlers never found their angle in. They didn't want to run through but they went to Kappa, which is, didn't work out. What I've seen for brawl rushes from Team 2, times if Team 1's a little bit too focused going along this ridge line and they know that they're going to get brawled and they're staring out here waiting for the mechs to show up at Sigma, sometimes you can sneak them. Plow in and pick up a bunch of kills, start chaining them, clean up everything else. Or you can try to do that Sigma route, but again, there's a lot of open ground you have to cover there, or you have to, get onto Theta, and then if the other team hasn't spread out, then you can have a single direction to push, perhaps. But usually a ranged team will do play, edge lines, so it's not really possible. It's a difficult map to brawl. Teams are almost locked, but not quite. And again, for Team 1, Team 2's got like ridge lines. Go up on that. Yeah, I think Team 1's probably got a little bit of an advantage though. And teams are locked, ready to go. Let's pop them in. See if they brought brawl again or different. All right, looks like my stream is up. Looks like there's no issues. I haven't streamed in a while, so trying to do overlay just before the match kicks off. If there's issues, let me know. There's a delay. I won't be reading it right away, but yeah. If there aren't any issues or issues, hopefully I catch them. 15 years pass. Oh, that was optimistic. Yeah, what am I talking about? I'm going to talk about this ridge here, a Try Hard Mountain, as they reduced the slope significantly, made it much easier to climb up the backside. So it's not nearly as challenging as it used to be to make a push up or down this, but in competitive, what you can see is this high ground terrain with a light mech or something of that nature. Very good commanding position, can do a lot of backstabbing if you put a Team 1 mech here and Team 2 is playing, out ridge lines or whatever. And then, you can also see Team 1 send mechs up onto here. Generally play the ridge line, and then they need to watch they don't get backstabbed when they climb up on here. But yeah, and both teams can play for this position, which sometimes leads to ER large mechs brawling. Always fun. Ridge line's pretty good. Good trade positions, but both teams have access to it. We'll see what they do here. I'm going to be looking at the Jägers. Come on, give me builds. I was surprised there weren't very many new weapons, but I haven't had time to try anything out. There's a Proto AC2 again. ER Large Virago. Night Gear with Gauss ER Large. Yeah, we're not seeing very much of the new weapons here. Shadowcat, ER large, heavy machine gun, Shadowcat triple ER large, no backup weaponry, and then a spider, which is making the early play here for Sigma. Are they going to get it? That is what I'm wondering. Large X pulse laser, light machine gun, so good
We've gained
harasser
Epsilon.
with range. You don't want to be just pure brawl.
Kappa is
They're
under
standing in the
enemy
open trying to
control.
get a scout there, but they're not being denied, so they get the cap. And Hunters have sent a mech to Gamma again, so they're very committed to that. Bears Brawlers, ER large, light machine gun on an Incubus.
They have resource
Urban
point
Mech,
Gamma.
ER large, mag shot. Okay. What is on the large X pulse, light machine gun, a little bit more range than the last Blackjack arrow. Roughneck, 2 large X pulse, medium X pulse. They're definitely looking to brawl, but they have some range.
We've captured
Shadowcat with
resource point Sigma.
SRM backup and pair ER large. And Huntsman, I'm guessing ERPPC. Yeah, yep. Did well with it last time. Why not run it again? Oh no, Deathwish is kind of running through the open, eating fire. Ultra 20, ERPPC, and ER medium laser. They're about to lose a side torso, maybe even their center torso. Oh no.
Resource point
Well,
Beta is ours.
did not get into range with that AC-20. And that Ultra AC-20 could have been a Hag. My understanding is the build on that currently would be like a Hag 30 with an ERPC, something of that nature. Has a little bit more range. The two weapons coordinate better than ERPC does. We have an Incubus going to be doing some harassment from on the ridge line. Puzzle Whip is going to get chased off. They want to just sit in Pop Tart, but now they're running into uh, kind of a no man's land. They have to get out of that trench or they're going to be whittled down. And already Bears Brawlers are in a little bit of trouble. And I forgot to switch the overlay. I just remembered. Oh, that's what I forgot. My apologies to everyone. Hopefully you know which teams were which. That didn't switch. Come on, I told you to switch. Well, it'll correct itself in a minute, and let's get back to spectating. Yeah, Puzzle Whip didn't make it out of the ditch. Yeah. Okay, here's the brawl opportunity. There are multiple mechs that have dropped down. Some of them have jump jets, some of them do not. Those Incubus are going to have a hard time getting out of here. If Mr. Bear were backed up, this could be an opportunity for Bear's Brawlers. Mr. Bear is powered down and dead. Legged, powered down and dead. And nobody backed him up on that push. I don't know if they weren't in position or why, because if you're Brawlers, you should be sitting around Theta, kind of, mostly-ish. Ultimately, you want to go in, right? So why were they so far back? Urban Mech has lost the mag shots. Oh, it's an extra light engine, goes down. And I don't think this is going to come down to caps. Bears Brawlers have the cap lead, but that doesn't really count for a whole lot when you're down so many mechs. And the caps are still so far away. Epsilon's being flipped just because. I don't know why multiple mechs are sitting there. They could be shooting players instead, but caps are caps. They do stuff too. Okay, that overlay did correct itself finally. Um, yeah, fish in a barrel.
They've taken Epsilon.
What do you want me to say? Shadowcat circling around to get that alternate angle. Nobody needs to like brawl in. I don't know what this guy's doing sitting back here. I mean, the Hellbringer, so it would take forever to get anywhere. It doesn't want to exactly get into brawl range, so I guess a flank path would take 2 days to get there. It looks like Livish is being bullied. Livish is being bullied hard. Gotta lose side torso. They're not going for the legs. And power down and center torso, I do believe. Shadowcat is gonna get legged in a second here. Yeah. And that just leaves the Incubus. Well played by Hunters of the Fjordlands on this map. Played it with a little bit of patience. Their builds aren't the most modern and updated, but they're also fairly conventional, and that worked. Quick 2-0 to start this off, but now we're getting off of the range map onto something a little bit more brawlable. Maybe things will turn around. And I need to update this as. All right, yeah, we're going to Frozen City next. So I've got the stats up. Let's go over that real quick. I don't think there's gonna be much intrigue here. Yeah, it's all the double Ds. This time around, even Puzzle Whip's double D'd because they got ganked. So yeah, the night gear from Dr. Carcass. Nice damage, couple of kills. But rest of the team got some damage in there as well. Pretty cut and dry. All right, let's pop up the map room. What are we going to talk about here? Well, I already mentioned that maybe things are going to turn around now that we're on a map that can be brawled. It is Frozen City. Frozen City can be played brawl. It can be played range. We're playing Conquest, so side caps are kind of a little bit out there. Data is going to be potentially contested. It's a little bit in the open. You can rush mechs down there, and then mechs have to actually kind of expose themselves to get the early deny potentially, or you can get some range traders, get a deny on Theta. But there is a possibility of getting it early. If you don't get it early, it can be difficult to get later. So usually you'll see teams send a couple of mechs out there, do a little bit of a skirmish for like 30 seconds or something, then get out before the Goss ER starts flying in there. But later on in the game, if you want to try to sneak it, if you're playing range versus range, your range has to suppress their range for your light to go for the cap. But I'm smelling brawl. You don't name your team Bears Brawlers unless you're gonna brawl on every drop, right? That's kind of the thing, right? So what we're looking at here, Bears Brawlers are gonna be playing on Team 1 for this drop, and I hope I have the overlay set for that. Well, whatever. We'll figure that out later. So what I'm expecting is kind of just like a movement. Well, I think an early crossing down the Delta 4 to go Delta 5 Delta 4 to go to Echo 4 Fox 4. Probably not Tunnel. Tunnel's a little bit too far, but over the dropship to try and brawl into whatever range mechs are trying to set up in the Fox 5, Golf 5, Echo 4 locations. If you go early and fast, you can get through here without getting scouted, unless if the scouts, are taking a decent path and catch the tail of your train. Again, tonnage is going to be 450 maximum here. So it's still possible to build something fast, using up your chargers or something of that nature. Alternately, if Hunters of Fjordlands Jägers goes to play in the Golf 7 Fox 7 area, they could get brawled through the city. The Echo 7 Fox 7 7-line push, classic 7-line push from Quick Play. But the thing is, if you're playing range, you don't put all your mechs on one side of the chasm. Like you play both sides. So then, if you're getting brawl pushed here, you start retreating into the valley. Your range boys start putting some fire in. You get an early scout. Early scout's important if you're being brawled. But even if your range mechs don't make it out, they'll take some time dying, and they'll die down in the ditch while your range guys are shooting in on the guys in the ditch, picking some legs off, that type of thing. So if you set up correctly to play range, it's difficult for brawlers. But the key point is you have to set up properly. So, and Bears brawlers could do something. They could play range. They could, I'm sure that their pilots have skills beyond just brawling. Been around for quite some time. I haven't been able to catch very many of their matches, but they are a veteran team. Let's pop up the lobby here. Working on. Teams are not quite locked in yet, but they're getting there. One thing I didn't mention earlier on the format, there is a chassis total. I have the chassis limits. So okay, teams are ready. Just trying to read chat to see if there's a problem, but off to the next match. Chassis limits, that's what I'm talking about. So you've got up to 3 of a chassis you can use over the entire match. So if you take 3 chargers and drop one, you can't take any chargers for the rest of the match. Now, so we've seen Incubus is used up, Shadowcat's used up, Kid Foxes have been touched, Blackjack's been used, Night Gear, Nova Cat. But as the tonnage goes up, the mechs are also going to be different. Like we haven't seen any stalkers yet. This would be a drop where you could use stalkers as the tonnage has advanced enough, or something of that nature. What's going to be interesting is the light mech choices as they've used up a lot of the the better um, fast light mechs. So we'll see what happens here. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, this is the Theta cap point I was talking about. It's kind of in the open. There's a little bit of cover with the ridges, but not really. You're kind of again stuck to hugging them, lining, rig, or whatever it is. And yeah, the early denies require mechs to expose in the open. They're too far back where there's cover that they can't actually get a good angle here, or they have to walk into the open. So um, that's where the range suppression comes in terms of allowing you to get that cap in the later stages of the game. All right, let's look at maps. I'm going to look at the Brawl team maps for if they're the Brawl team. Let's see. Stalker 5S with ER large. Nope. Goss ER large Direwolf. Yeah, not Brawlin either. Marauder ERPPC like Goss. Hellbringer. There is a set of 8 build on that mech, I believe, with a ballistic quirk. So Hag 40 heavy large ER Mead. An urban mech ER large mag shot. Again, it's moving quite slow. So this Locust is the only cap mech getting down there early with medium X pulse and light machine gun. Now, Hunters of the Fjordland sending multiple mechs to contest that Theta. They're not actually pushing onto it, which is probably smart, as they would take a lot of damage if they did. So Arctic Wolf with SRMs, Iris with medium X pulse heavy machine gun, high DPS on that mech, but fragile. Another Arctic Wolf. So yeah, it's a bit of a brawl pack there that they brought of their 3 mediums and lights. Okay. Stone Rhino 8 ER large. That is a mech I have not really played with or against. I actually don't own it. Nova Cat ER large, Stalker ER large, and yeah, okay. We're gonna see a lot of trading. So I'm gonna grab some water because I've got some time to do so. I guess one thing to point out here is if you look at the percentages on these teams, there's a lot of damage that's already landed. And it's not very Hunters of the Fjordlands, one mech at 73%, a lot of damage to the torsos in that stalker. But on the opposing side, this Hellbringer's taken, actually, a little bit to the center torso, but doesn't look bad at all. The other Hellbringer, open center torso at 79%. That is not what you want to be seeing. How's that Marauder doing? There's a dead side build on that Marauder, so that looks like a left side damage, which, the weapons are still, they're all right stacked. Direwolf looks pretty healthy, 87%, but nothing serious. Urban mech here that I'm concerned about. Center torso backed up. It's a airstrike. The problem with the airstrike is you have to like side step it, not back up from it. But if he does that, what the heck happened there? Urban mech down. And incoming another strike here. Stalker, yeah, it didn't sidestep, but the thing is, cover gives them very limited amount of ability to hide there. So backing up, trying to get out of range, but eating it anyways. So the trading is going very much in the favor of Hunters of the Fjordlands right now with their Jägers team, with the exception of Rainbow Steb, who has taken a lot of damage in center torso. Needs to slow down the trades a little bit, and just let the other teammates do some work. Keep that mech alive. Peak less frequently. Maybe even make a rotation to somewhere with a bit more cover or an unexpected angle. Caps are in favor of Bears Brawlers. If this keeps up, that will start to matter. 52% on that stalker. Stop trading, buddy. I know, I just want to shoot 2, but Open head there on Yuri Pro. Did they not fully armor that, or is that just a lucky shot or a skilled shot? Could be a skilled shot too. An attempt at Theta has cost the Osiris some amount of health. Looks relatively healthy for 66% open side torso though, and that is an inner sphere extra light engine. So if that side torso is blown off, they will be dead. Yeah, it's that Theta thing. It's very difficult to get unless you get it early. And Bears Brawlers committed early, sent a fast mech out there, and camping on the caps right now. If they can slow roll this on trades, oh no, what happened? Center torso, 67%, 60%, and almost dead center torso on the Hellbringer from Sibco Slacker. That's one touch. I mean that mech is basically, yeah. Hellbringers, yeah, they had their time in the sun. That time is kind of, they're still playable, but they're not S tier. There was an attempt here with the two articles, Cyrus, to maybe go for a bit of a wolf pack hit and run here, maybe even just go for a back cap, but they backed off. I mean, their team is winning the trades, but the caps are getting a little bit serious. It is at 450 to under 300. And what is it, 450 to 390 or something like that? It's going to be in a couple seconds. Zipco Slacker, if they can just stay alive, I mean, I don't know. You want to trade, but when you're that damaged, probably best not to. Cat. Fritzor is moving up, looking to get that extra angle. They do need to apply some pressure to get a cap here. Hunters of the Fjordlands, Jägers team is. Oh, they're sending the Osiris to do this pickoff on this Hellbringer. Hellbringer's kind of in the open. There's nothing they can do. That's just a dead mech. Oh wait, rear torso. Rear torso has armor. Wow. But the Osiris traded off. Side torso death. That is probably the best outcome that could happen there for Bears Brawler is actually getting a return on that Hellbringer death. Now the cap at Theta has been decapped, and this is it. This is the suppression. The suppressions come in because there's so much damage on Bears Brawlers, and they don't have the angle anymore after that Hellbringer went down. It's going to be difficult for them to deny Theta without taking too much return damage. So this is going to go the way of the Arctic Wolf. Should be able to get a cap here. They're struggling with it, but again, another mech goes down as they attempt to deny Theta.
Theta is controlled by
And
the
yeah, another
enemy.
center torso death there on that stalker. And they're just too damaged to expose the amount that you have to because of this hill. You have to expose so much of your mech in order to be able to see Theta. You'll take so much return fire. And Livish goes down in that Direwolf. So that's where it is. Caps are at 560 to 400, but there aren't enough mechs left on the field. Bears Brawlers are going to get ganked here by the Arctic Wolves, which are still very, very healthy and should be able to pick up some very quick kills. Marauder managed to keep all their weapons until the moment of their death. And we are down to a Locust. Arctic Wolf is already doing a back cap on Gamma instead of helping out everybody against Locust, but I don't think it matters. I mean, Thinking Shadow is so fresh. Get some more kills to pad their MWO comp bot stats. No, they don't get the kill. Kill denied due to a self-destruction. Still, they managed to farm some damage, so they'll get some percentages there. Pretty well played though from Bears Brawlers. They just got out traded. I'd say their strat was solid. A little bit of question on some of the mech builds, maybe a little bit, but mostly I would just say that they were out traded. Skill issue or whatever you want to call it. I was gonna pop something up. What was I doing? Yes, right. I was gonna do lobby stats. Need lobby stats button up. Yeah, that looks right. All right, great. I gotta switch teams so you guys can just look at the stats while I do something else. Oh, don't crash on me. Stream's still going. Unfortunately, Bear Brawlers are having a bit of a rough time here, but I think their strat was solid the last map. I might have even favored their strategy, just some builds and just player skill as well. There were some mechs that were taking too much damage to the center torso. The damage wasn't spreading. I don't know if King is playing into that at all. It's rough being Oceanic. I would assume. I mean, they keep saying it's fine, but I've played competitive before against an Oceanic team where I had to be on an Oceanic server, and yeah, it didn't feel good. I mean, it was only like 300 ping or whatever, but it felt like I would say that 300 ping compared to what I was used to at the time, which was like North American 50 ping or something of that nature, or maybe even a little bit higher. But um, it felt like walking in the kiddie pool. I haven't been to kiddie pool in years, but back when I went to the local pool and try to wade through that kiddie pool and the water's up to my thighs or something, right? You're just struggling every step. It's so slow, and you just can't walk the same as on dry land. That's what it feels like playing at 300 ping to me. That's how it feels, and that's what the Oceanic players are dealing with all the time. You know, um, your torso twisting late every time. It just isn't. They say it's fine. I don't think it's fine. All right, back to the map room. Sure, back to the map room. Teams are switched sides here. Um, so we're gonna see a little bit different. The stalkers have been used up a little bit, but there's still some stalkers left. Direwolves are still left. There's lots of trade mechs available if teams decide to go for trading. Yeah, how are we doing? Sidestepping an airstrike, something that I'd say most of the time is fairly simple. If you're watching for the airplane, you can see it coming in. There's so much delay between the airplane flying over and then the strike landing after they increased the timer a number of years ago. I'd say sidestepping should be fairly easy, but often we don't. Often I see players who aren't making that sidestep. But I think part of the reason for that is that you're engaged in the trade. You're trying to stand in such a way that you're not um, getting damage from a strike and then or from the trade, and then you just get rolled by the airstrike. I don't even know if the airstrikes do that much damage relative to like walking out in the open and eating an alpha, but yeah, you see that's one area. Maybe a little bit more strike dodging would. I don't know. That wasn't even it. They were just getting out traded, just straight up out traded. Oh, I forgot to switch teams. There we go. I switched the overlay this time before the starting. So yeah, go me. I remembered. All right, how is this? How is this league even scored? Did somebody read the rule book? No. Yeah, I didn't either. No, I skimmed it. I skimmed it, and it's about match wins, I think, before drop wins, or is it you get a point for each drop win, but the tiebreaker is the match wins, or how does it go? I don't know. They're playing for something. Three 0 in favor of the Hunters of the Fjordland team currently, but um, I think they're still playing for something on Bears Brawlers side. If nothing else, they're playing for pride, for revenge, for the joy of the game. Waiting for dropships to show up. Oh look, there's a dropship here. What's inside of it? Fire, crates, no max. It might have been a cargo dropship. We have no idea. All right. Teams are fighting over this wasteland of frozenness. I don't know why, but they are. Goss ear large on a Warhammer Hero Maul. Yeah, Sexecutioner with ear large, ear micro. Only no 3 ear large, so kind of a little bit brawly. Executioner with heavy machine guns. Okay. Is that a set of 8 build or something? No. Why are there machine guns? Mistlinks with machine guns. Javelin with machine guns. This is looking kind of brawly. Javelin, machine guns. Again, that's the pack mechs. I missed somebody. I feel like they did bring a fair bit of range, but they also brought some backup brawly stuff. So could be either. Did I miss somebody? I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. What do we got over on Bears Brawlers? Bears Brawlers. They are moving up. Oh. Complaint about blue lasers. Well, both teams can use blue lasers. That's something I'm going to go ahead and point out here. AMS, LRM, Thunderbolt missiles, Thunderbolt missiles. Wow, what are Thunderbolt missiles? I heard those are terrible. That's what the forums are saying. I haven't actually played the game, so I don't know. Thunderbolt missiles, a new type of missiles. They're like LRMs, except they're not like LRMs. And Ultra 2 on that Ebon Jaguar. Larger, large X Pulse, Timberwolf, large Pulse, ER Mead. A single Narc mech. All right, Narcs and Thunderbolts are on the field. Do they share Ghost Heat, or like what's with this kitchen sink type build with Thunderbolt 5, Thunderbolt 10, LRM 5? Like that's a lot of LRMs and well, lock-on missiles. But I think they share. I think they're going to share a Ghost Heat group, so I don't know how that's supposed to work. But yeah, we got a bit of a brawl push that is not finding anyone because they just swap sides of the map. So it's a 4 cap that is being turned into a 3 cap. There's a big cap lead here because I don't think Bear Brawlers took their home cap, and Under the Fjordlands took their home cap, then walked over to the other side, took the opponent's caps, and then set up to range receive. So they have a cap lead. They also have a full cap on Theta, which is, again, I pointed out, that's a hard one to get if you have the range control, and they have the range control. So, like, look at that. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Like, look at this. How are you supposed to push across into this? Someone want to explain that to me? Yeah. The answer is you don't. They went for a push without scouting intel, Bears Brawlers, and they picked the wrong side, or their opponent saw it coming and made the cross switch. Bears Brawlers have a hodgepodge of mechs here, hodgepodge of builds. They're taking can't trade with large pulse. Like if you're peeking, you're just burning armor. There's no reason to peek here. Your team has to do something. What is your team going to do though when you have some Ultra 2, some large pulse, some large X pulse, and some lock-on missiles? Like what is the strategy? That's my question here for Bears Brawlers. I'm looking at their builds and I can't figure it out. And that's fine. They are going to make the brawl push. They just lost 40% of the armor on their Timberwolf before. Now they're going to try to make an attempt here. What do we got? Some sort of skirmish here. Javelin. Are they scouting or are they taking damage? A little bit of both. Livish is trying to narc for his team. Did they get a narc out? If they got a narc out on this javelin, I didn't see any missiles. Now I see some missiles. I think my screen just brightness is too bright on this map. Can't see nothing. My apologies. A little bit washed out, but that's how this map is. So yeah, probably got narked on the javelin, but the javelin found cover. It's a short mech. It can hide behind these buildings. A very good job of blocking this if you're a short mech. Less good if you're a tall mech. So if that narc gets on that executioner, maybe. But currently, some of the mechs have crossed, some of the mechs have not crossed. That is going to be the Ebon Jaguar that's sitting back to do some range trade stuff. The thing is that because they're not with their team, they're going to get ganked. And also, the targets their team is pushing at can actually take cover from the Ebon Jaguar with the Ultra 2s while fighting against the Brawl push. Although it looks like Yuri Pro is going to get caught here. How come that Ebon Jaguar hasn't been ganked yet? I got questions for Hunters of the Fjordlands here. What are you doing? Okay, they don't seem to know he's there. What? I don't know. Yuri Pro is being sacrificed, but they have made it to where their team is covering them. Again, they're in the trench now. They're in the chasm. Sorry, chasm. Um,
We
so
have
if any
gained
brawlers go
Epsilon.
down after Yuri Pro, they are going to get shot by a whole bunch of guys who have range. It's just the rotations. Yuri Pro is getting left behind there. Now, this is the large X pulse difference. In the old days, brawling with like medium pulses or actual like SRMs or whatever, you'd have to go down in here to
Enemy
get the kill.
forces have
Large
Sigma.
X pulse gives you some range. It's a brawl weapon that also flexes a little bit. So very good pickup there. They do get it's one kill each. Evan Jaguar finally got picked.
We
Where did
have
they die?
Gamma.
There we go. Yeah, voluntarily stayed behind, went down center torso. Um, it's just the caps are where it's at. The fight looks well, armor percentages don't look good, but the caps are it's just kind of over. Um, push down, double legged, dead. Chargers going in the open. I don't know if they're gonna make it through. Golden Boy over here, running in. What's the Golden Boy doing? Some missiles, some light PPC to turn off ECM for the missiles. AMS because they thought they might get missiled. But yeah, Charger's making it in. Charger might be able to pick up some kills, but the caps are at 650. Like, is what it is at this point. Let's follow the Charger. Charger's going in for back shots. Back shots. Can they get the kill? Oh, they went for a leg. They got one leg. Can they get the second leg? There's good leg shielding coming out here from Fritzer. And Charger powered down, goes down center torso. Fritzer stays alive. And we have one last little stand going on here. Hellbringer's getting farmed. Goes down to a light pack. Yeah, Hyper Assault Gauss, my understanding, it's not very good against lights. I haven't played enough to really know, but heavy large with like extremely long burn time. The Hag 40 with both a spread, a firing
We've gathered
duration,
enough
and
resources. This triumph will
actually doesn't have
provide
spread
us
anymore, does it?
huge
But
tactical benefits.
a charge and all that, like it's a hard weapon to hit lights with. And oh yeah, there's somebody still alive on Bears Brawlers. Well, there's one more drop coming up. See if Bear Brawlers can force a map where they can brawl, because that seems to be the only thing they're fully interested in doing. So, um, week one the maps are kind of rangy. Future weeks they might be a little bit more brawly. Maybe Bears Brawlers will do better on those. Um, what maps did I go through that were the option here? I did list that, didn't I, earlier? Yeah, so Rubelite Oasis, Tourmaline Desert, and Polar Highlands. Well, Polar Highlands can be brawled, Rubelite Oasis can be brawled, Tourmaline Desert not so much. So my guess, and it's just a guess, is that Tourmaline Desert is going to be the ban from Bears Brawlers. Damage is damage. Nothing interesting there, is there? Well, kind of. Charger did really well from Self-List. We take Polar. That's a ban, I think, right? Okay, one team bans, then the other team bans, and then the other team chooses the team side. I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. Somebody read the rule book and let me know for next week. All right, I wasn't out of the lobby in time, so I guess they already banned whatever map they banned, and then Hunters of the Fjordlands picked Polar Highlands. So I asked what the ban was. I don't know if they're going to tell me. I might have just missed it. My apologies. Kind of juggling some things and just didn't get out of the hobby thing in time. Green am I on? It's all good. Okay, so Polar Highlands, I need to switch my this one alphabetical. Yes, this. All right, they made it simple. I don't have to switch team sides. We're going to Polar Highlands playing 5-cap Conquest with a 530, no, 510. So it's a tonnage range of 490 tons to 510 tons. So I'm just going to call it a 510 ton limit on this last drop where we're going to Polar Highlands. Polar Highlands. Again, I don't know what map was banned. I'm guessing Tourmaline Desert because we've got a range team versus brawl team here. So brawl team should be banning Tourmaline Desert, I would say. And then the range team picked Polar Highlands instead of Rubelite Oasis, which is something I would have to agree with. I think that's probably correct. Should I pop up the map strat? Yeah, why not? Let's. There could be a couple minutes here. All right, we're going to talk about maps. Maps. These spawns are, I think, have been moved up closer to Theta. I don't think they're set back like that anymore. They're probably like more, one or two grids up. That gives a little bit more time for less time for the range guys to maneuver somebody somewhere, but also they need less time to do so. What am I saying? I'm tired. I need to go sleep soon. What were we talking about on this map? So Kappa, Gamma, the side caps, like these home caps are just they're home caps. Like you get those. You can have early action on Theta from both sides if they decide to commit multiple fast mechs to it. At this tonnage, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. These side caps, you can put range boys out there. You send a light to go grab it before regrouping at Theta or whatever you're doing. Because there's a bit of a castle in, I believe, this. Yeah, Juliet 8 has a bit of a castle, and then also Golf 9. I don't remember which is the good one. I think the Golf 9 one is what I prefer. So if you're a little bit further up, it will be as long to walk there to get there, but also the Brawlers will be closer to Theta. So I don't know, mixed bag. See how the spawn changes are going to play out on here. This map got played a ton for Worlds, but new weapons and new chassis with the Stone Rhino being legal here. Already seen it make an appearance, and then Longbow's not legal yet. Legends aren't legal either. What other mechs are different? I can't recall. Is it just the Stone Rhino? But there's new weapons, which haven't really made a big appearance yet. We'll see if that changes. Where's Brawlers are gonna right? So like what? They're just gonna mosh pit at Theta, and then when the other team doesn't send all their mechs to Theta because they're not gonna do that, then Bear Brawlers have to like make a channel push to wherever. Your receive lines can be really good on here if you're knowing that you're gonna get brawled. So that's why I'm saying that this map, can be played both ways. But if you know it's brawl, and you just like overcommit towards sitting back, get your scout, get out instead of getting picked, and then set up with some range boys, then the other team to kind of it's rolling hills, but they have to crest the hills to chase the mechs, and that's when they get shot by everyone who's spread out in a good firing line. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, teams are good. Don't want to keep them waiting, so yeah, on to the next thing. Teams are ready. They drop. I would see if Bear Brawlers can crawl one back here. Feeding issue, but I think the maps this week very much favor range, and other weeks they don't. So I don't know. Alpine Peaks and Frozen City, why are they both in the same week instead of spread out across 2 different weeks? That's what Bear Brawler is going to be asking right now. So I'll ask it for them. But end of the day, you can't do anything but just brawl. Like that's gonna just be tough because you're gonna know. I know brawling's fun, but sometimes you got to do some other stuff, or don't. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here, just talking. I'll let the smart people run the teams. What are we doing? Well, let's go look at Theta while we wait for the teams to load in. There we go. Theta, it's a death trap if you get to it and your opponent's like get to it and next die. It's a good skirmishy type position. You can, you know, poke in and poke out, but it's difficult to turn and run because of channels that keep you kind of pinned in, locked in when you're trying to run away, and you get back shot or leg shot or whatever. Like it's straight lines, and there isn't going to be much support because of the type of terrain. So it's important to get a scout, but that can be difficult to do because of all the and all the terrain that kind of blocks covers for the next moving in. But if you're gonna brawl there, you kind of just have to commit and just YOLO in. So you have to believe that you have more than your opponent and just go for it. None of that, heal them out, and they see you coming and they're not doing it themselves. They back out. You won't have any victims yet. So, your large stone rhinos from Hunters of the Fjordlands, Jägers team here. Javelin, that's probably their last javelin. Phoenix Hawks, none of those people laser. So, yeah, a little bit of some skirmishy stuff. Hellfire with Brawl build going off to side cap. So they have a little bit of wolf pack, but those 8 large stone rhinos are kind of the main. Ultra 20 Madcat Mark II-B with large backup. Awesome with LRMs. Direwolf with Gauss large. Where's the Narkers? The Shadowcat and Narker? No SRM backup. Blackjack Arrow large X-Pulse light machine gun. And a Night Gear. Wait, what is that? I'm going to have to look at that a little bit closer. Gauss large Marauder. We saw that already earlier. It's a ranged trader that has to side shield hard.
Airstrike online.
Triple LBX 10 on a Night Gear B, and there's a quirk down on that. That is gonna have to brawl though. Okay, so there's range on the weapons, but there's spread on them as well. So, I'm liking the LRM idea. There's no Narker this time around, so the Awesome's gonna have to get their own blocks, and that's where I'm concerned because it's wide as a barn door, and 8 large from those direwolves is just paired up. Is that how they scout that one? But yeah, Mr. Bear takes a little bit of damage from the strike. Didn't see it coming in. Bit of an odd angle. I don't know how that scouting occurred. I guess the Mad Cat maybe was up on the ridge. Yeah, large setup here. They took a castle that I don't like. Way too close up. Yeah. But there's 2 stone rhinos stacked in the same position with a charger offering for them. Charger's not quite got the angle. Oh, Charger is 2 binary and 5 small lasers. So they did not put large X-Pulse on that. And they did not put meat either. Or the 4 binary large laser build of the Charger 3K. Seems like maybe there's a mech selection issue there, or they're just running special stuff because of special situation. Yeah, that's a more standard Charger 1 build. Now, okay, so they got Theta. They're losing Sigma, though. There's a light mech going for the back cap on Sigma. Home caps are home caps, but Javelin came to go get it, so it's a 4 cap to 1 type situation, and you're the brawl team. Like, you have to brawl. You have to push. You can't, you don't have a plan B. You could try to force a rotation if you had a cap advantage, but they don't have a cap advantage, so part of the team is trading outside of optimal range. Part of the team is sitting on Theta. Direwolf is trying to join the push. Marauder's kind of getting left behind. Puzzle Whip is going to get shots in its rear. But, they had a UAV up or something? There was a LRM's going to the Phoenix Hawk. How was that doing? Yeah, not very much damage. Puzzle Whip has turned around. Direwolf has turned around, but they have very little support with them. The LRM mech is nearby. That can't help. The rest of the team needs to come back and deal with his harassers, but that will also mean that nobody's pushing. But, oh, wow, a lot of damage going down Javelin here. Pupus is taking a lot of LRM fire, trying to find that cover. Finally does. Puzzle Whip is not in the range that their mech wants to be. Where's the Brawlers? There's a brawl happening, but the Brawlers aren't there. Or skirmishers, there are builds. Awesome, taking a lot of damage to the center torso, but nothing open yet. Those chargers with the mobility are finding the angles and harassing. Like they're in a fishbowl here right now, the range traders, and they can't get out of there. They can't turn their backs, and their team needs to come and get them moving again, because this is a they're currently sitting on one cap. They're not able to make a push out of here. They're not able to effectively trade out of this bowl. They need to open up an area, but the caps are bleeding out in the wrong direction. They need to find an exit point for the range traders, where their range traders can then, actually do something. Pupus, open side torso might be an early death here. Bear Brawlers needs to make something happen, though. Like, I'd love to be playing this up as early kills or whatever, but we're already at 450 caps. This is not the early game anymore. This is getting quickly toward the end game. This is a big map, and there are not a lot of fast mechs that are going to be alive at the end of a brawl in order to go get those caps in the distance. Charger's getting in on the Madcap. Madcap Mark 2B goes down center torso. How'd the Charger do? Charger did not take damage in that. The Awesome is going to get harassed here. Minimum range on those LRMs, so the Charger is going to be very, very happy to go for that fight. Other Charger getting harassed in the back. That is a kill box. That Charger should be dying here. Shadowcat's pursued further in and now goes down, and the Night Gear and Blackjack did not manage to pick up the Charger kill in return. Hellfire's coming in, masked those legs very heavily. That is already pre-damaged, coming in 68%. But Night Gear, center torso, it doesn't twist very well. That's why I don't like brawling in a Night Gear. I love the Night Gear. I don't love brawling in it. And this is an overheating Blackjack. Goes down. Hellfire is not legged. Javelin is still up. What is left? Airwolf is left, but brawling in like point blank range. Do pick up a kill on one of the Stone Rhinos. How did that go down? Center torso. How's the other Stone Rhino looking? 84%, a little bit of heat damage. Nothing, Marauders open side torso, about to lose a side torso that doesn't matter. Oh no, they lost a side torso with the guns. Go down, and it's Livish doing a last stand here against innumerable odds. Does not pull an Aiden Pride in the Jade Phoenix last stand type move. Goes down quick, and 2 dead on the side of Hunters of the Fjordlands, and yeah, very decisive win here for Hunters of the Fjordlands Jägers team. They're definitely going to be challenging for divisional lead, is what it looked like here. It's early. Things could be different, but well played. There was 1 or 2 drops that were kind of close. But pretty quick 5-0 overall. Strong showing in week 1. All right, putting damage up on the screen. One of the Stone Rhinos farmed. The other Stone Rhino did not. Chargers, both of them farmed. Javelin stayed alive, but didn't do damage. Staying alive's good win there. On the other side, Bears Brawlers just didn't really manage to get their traders set up. Didn't manage to get their Brawlers in a coordinated flank or push, or they just didn't find what they're looking for. And I don't know. It's like every mech had their own strategy almost. Like the builds weren't coordinated, is what I would say. Drop deck issue. Maybe they can adjust going forward, or they might be limited on what mechs the individual players have, or they're just trying to play casual and they ran into a tryhard team. I don't know. That's that. I mean, what kind of wrap up do you guys want? Let me know in 5 minutes, and oh, that's not going to help. Any questions from chat? Oh, questions about rules of league. All right, so I ran through it real quick. It's a 7v7, 5 cap conquest. They're doing 5 drops. The last drop has some map banning stuff going on in the upper divisions. They're also doing chassis banning. There's a limit of 3 chassis through the entire match, so you can only use 3 chargers. You can use them all up in 1 drop, or you can use them 1 in 3 different drops, or you can use 2 in a drop and 1 in another drop, or you can use no chargers because you don't have to. Even though it's a very, very strong chassis, there's no reason you have to use it. do what you want. Legends are banned, and mechs that are not available for C-bills are banned. So longbows are banned, although heroes are allowed. So if they're not available for MC or C-bills, and if they're a legendary mech, then they're banned. But yeah, longbows will be available in a couple of weeks, is my understanding. I think for like the last 2 weeks of the league or whatever it is. The rulebook says stuff. There's a rulebook, you can look it up. You can use clan, you can use IS. There's no weapon restrictions. You can bring streaks on drop one. You can bring blue lasers on every single drop. The new weapons are available. You can use those mag shots. AP Goss didn't see very much of that today. I think that's a mistake. I think those will show up in future weeks. Light autocannons are apparently getting a buff in the next patch, although they're already playable. So we might start to see those showing up. The Protomech autocannon was already, there's a mech bringing it. I didn't see much from it. I don't think that I'm going to see much from Protomech autocannons, but all the new weapons are available. Players can go nuts, do whatever. Like, it's all out there. That's it for me. This was Therax. I was doing a sloppy early cast here, but we'll see if we can straighten things out going forward. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the teams for letting me cast, and thank you to MWO Leagues. And I believe it's Direwolf is organizing the Battle for Midway. So thank you for organizing a league for us to play in and watch. Thank you, viewers, for showing up, supporting MWCom and these teams. And I'll catch you around in the future.